When I tell you I have had 4 hours sleep today, yeah, I've recorded 3 videos and this is my 4th. I don't know what's happening, but a lot of Sims news has come out and even more. I genuinely don't think you guys are going to believe this. Yes, I am eating a rice cracker. I'm hungry. I don't think you guys are going to believe it. I really don't think you'll believe it. You never would have guessed. So as of recording today's video, I believe it's EA Investor Day or something where they give a big speech, and this speech is to people who, like, the shareholders basically, who invest in EA and The Sims, blah, 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 the other titles. So they announce on there even more information than what we know. All of this right here we need to address. So we've got The Sims 4, we've got Project Renee, we've got My Sims, we've got Project Stories. What's Project Stories? Project Stories is allegedly the upcoming mobile game for The Sims, which is going to be one of those episodic story games, it seems. You know, like those mobile app games? I think there was even like a Love Island one created where like there's speech bubbles and you like click the speech bubble. That's what it sounds like it's going to be. And all of this comes under, allegedly, according to this, The Sims Hub. Now, this is where it's going to blow your mind. So in a recent interview, somebody from EA was talking about how the reason why they're basically not doing The Sims 5 is because The Sims 4 has over, I think, 80 million players, and they don't want to abandon that audience, which I do understand financially why. Excuse me, I have rice cake stuck to my teeth. So The Sims 4 is going to continue getting packs, and The Sims 4, based on the Investor Day presentation, The Sims 4 is going to be like the main Sims game, okay? And The Sims 5 is not coming. It's never coming. In fact, they're just going to continue working on The Sims 4 more and more and more. They're not bothered about making a Sims 5. They mentioned that they want to shake up their formula of doing a sequel to The Sims. Instead, they're just going to stick with The Sims 4 now. And The Sims 4 is the main Sims title on PC and console. And they're going to continue releasing packs for The Sims 4 forevermore. God forbid. Am I going to be making Sims 4 YouTube videos in 30 years time? So this is genuinely what they've said, what they've got planned. The Sims 4 is not going anywhere. In fact, they're going to continue making more and more and more and more and more packs. But they said they're going to update the framework as they go along. And that absolutely terrifies me. The Sims 4 is just not built up right. It is such... I don't know anything about coding, but I've heard from people who do understand The Sims 4 is not coded very well. In fact, Sims 4 Sims are not smarter than ever. And like the slogan that they did when the game came out, actually, they're dumber than ever. Sims 4 Sims are quite dumb compared to Sims 2 and 3, even compared to Sims 1 Sims. You guys have seen my Let's Plays, the dumb AI, it's real. And to change that, they would have to change basically the entire game from the ground up. In other words, simply create an entire new game, which they don't want to do. So instead of getting a new Sims game that actually works well, which is coded great from the ground up, it seems like we're just getting The Sims 4, but with some minor changes, for example, bug fixes, and they recently updated to DirectX 11, like it's not that deep. You guys know, like, I have quite a powerful gaming PC, like a very expensive one, and that can't even run The Sims 4 very well. And that's because it's not got that much to do with performance in terms of hardware, but more so just an issue with the actual game itself. And even if you have an alien NASA computer, like, it's still not gonna run very well. That's just because of the way, you know, it's been coded and stuff, and the way it's been made from the ground up, and that can't really change unless you just make an entirely new game. So that's a little bit of bad news. Now, this is where it gets absolutely nuts. So the Sims Hub, what's the Sims Hub, you ask? In every single Sims game that's going to be coming out, okay, we're talking The Sims 4, Project Renee, Project Stories. Out of all of these, there will be shared assets between all of them. That means if you own, for example, I'm assuming this is what it means, if you own, for example, The Sims 4 Vampires game pack, that pack comes with, you know, furniture. It's like Victorian style furniture in that pack, or Victorian style outfits. You will be able to use this in other Sims games like Project Renee. So what packs you own in The Sims 4 seem to actually dictate what assets you own in Project Renee and Project Stories. And I understand why, to an extent, they're doing this, because when we moved on from The Sims 3 to The Sims 4, nobody really wanted to play The Sims 4 because it was like, I bought all these Sims 3 packs. Like, Sims 3 packs were actually a little bit more expensive than than Sims 4 packs when you consider inflation and things. So it was like, I've spent all this money on The Sims 3. Why would I want to spend more money on The Sims 4? And I think this is their solution to that problem. So every single asset you have in The Sims 4 will simply be available potentially in Project Renee or Project Sims Stories or whatever other game that they bring. I don't know. Even more interesting, okay, it seems like we're going to get a huge update to the gallery, and it's not just going to be the gallery anymore. It's going to be this like whole social networking thing, and it seems like this new social networking thing may actually be available on your mobile phone as like an app, like a proper social media service. Even more like, okay, you're not ready. So they've announced, which to be fair, they've had a patent for a while, so we kind of knew that it was coming. You would be able to upload a photo of something and find it in this new The Sims Hub gallery. So for example, if you search, it's like image searching. So if you search using an image of like a red house, okay, it will show red houses on the gallery using AI. If you search for an outfit that you find on Pinterest, you'll be able to find Sims on the gallery which use those outfits. Obviously it won't be the same thing, but it will be like something similar. It's basically like image reverse searching. It's like, you guys know when you get catfish. Okay, I feel like this is me trying to be relatable, but it's not relatable because it's a personal experience. It's like when I've been catfished before on Tinder. So like I screenshot their profile pic, put it into an image reverse search service and make sure like if they're a catfish or not. I don't know if you guys have ever done like catfish image reverse searching before, but it's basically like that. So that's another interesting one. They also suggested, I'm not 100% sure, their language was a bit vague, but they kind of suggested that we may be getting even more My Sims games in the future, which I guess will be their tap into the cozy gaming market. Honestly, I love a new My Sims game. That's perfect. But we've basically got something that they describe. Are you ready? This is so corporate. The Sims universe. We're getting the Sims universe. So it's pretty much confirmed now that Project Renee is not going to be a sequel. It's literally just going to be an online game. EA tried to do Sims Online twice. They did The Sims Online, and then they did The Sims 4, which was originally intended to be an online experience, and then it went to shit, just as Sims Online kind of went to shit. So now third time lucky? Maybe third time lucky, is that like a thing, or is it just something that people say? I just don't know. Guys, what do you think? Like, I honestly, to an extent, like I understand it because the packs are expensive and like the game literally, do you remember a few years ago how we used to joke that The Sims 4 is worth like over $500 with all the packs, and then suddenly the joke was it's $1,000, and then like it's so far over $1,000 now, the entire Sims 4 experience, that we don't even make that joke anymore. Soon it'll be over $5,000 for The Sims. God forbid. I mean, thank God I can claim them on my tax returns. Otherwise, I would be in trouble. So it seems like when new Sims 4 packs come out now, maybe there's going to be a shift, and they're not going to be called Sims 4 packs. They're just going to be called Sims Hub packs, Sims Universe packs. And if you buy, for example, what could be like a pack concept that they haven't done yet? How are they going to, like, genuinely, if The Sims 5 isn't ever coming, how on earth are they going to continue making packs? I play The Sims for my job, and I can't even think of a novel concept at the top of my head because they've done everything. What's something they haven't done? Fairies. Okay, what if we just get like the Sims Universe fairies, and you'll get fairies in The Sims 4. You're going to get fairies in Project Renee. You're going to get fairies in Project Stories. You're going to get fairies in The Sims Hub. You're going to get fairies, probably not in My Sims. I'm assuming that one will be different. I can't think of any other game that's really like this. Maybe very, very loosely Roblox. Didn't I tell you? I told you about a year ago, EA are trying to turn The Sims into Roblox, and I was right. They're literally trying to turn it into Roblox. And of course, we've got the brand new Sims logo. Okay, you saw it in my thumbnail, but here is the brand new Sims logo. So I'm assuming that they're going to be changing the whole like Sims 4 branding soon. I'm assuming because they've done a brand change before, they'd probably do it again. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping that they don't, because it took me ages to find the Sims Sans font so I can use it in my thumbnails, and now we've got this new one. So this is weird news. Not only is The Sims 5 not happening, a Sims movie is coming. We've got projects. Oh, Christ, I forgot all their names. So many weird projects. The Sims universe. Does that mean that My Wedding Stories is going to haunt me in every Sims game? If we're sharing assets between games, am I being haunted? I'm actually offended. I'm deeply offended by The Sims 4 My Wedding Stories, and My Wedding Stories transphobic. That clown dress, you know, the clown wedding dress, that's gonna haunt me in every single Sims game in the Sims universe, and I don't think I could cope with it. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we could potentially be getting a Sims 4 open world pack. Like, we literally could be getting multiplayer in the Sims 4, although that could be Project Renee. I'm not too sure right now. It's not so clear. I just don't know what to think, guys. Like, I think Project Renee is just a multiplayer mode for the Sims 4. I think it's just a multiplayer mode. I thought we were getting like the Sims 5 and I'm gutted. What's going on? The main reason, genuinely, okay, being serious, why I do think it is worrying is because, you know, when we saw Inzoi, all we got was character creator mode and a few early access social media influencer videos, and everything seemed to be pretty insane. Like, for an early access playtest, like, it looked pretty good. And that's because they're building a brand new game from the ground up. And of course, it's just gonna be brilliant if it's a brand new game from the ground up. I mean, we're seeing that with Paralives as well. The new previews we've seen are just brilliant. With that being said, The Sims 4 can't be rebuilt from the ground up. They can make tweaks like upgrading from DirectX 9 to 11. They can fix bugs, but they can't really change it. And if we're sharing assets potentially between different Sims titles or something else along those lines, it's going to make it even harder for them really to update things. You know, I tried to record a Let's Play episode earlier today, me playing The Sims for a future video, and every time I went into a community lot, The Sims just couldn't cope. Like they just, you know, people say it's like musical chairs, you know, when you go to a community lot like a bar in The Sims 4. My Sim even T-posed. My Sim T-posed in my recording yesterday, and somehow we're just carrying this on for years and years and years to come with even more packs. What could they possibly expand on? You can add more and more layers to the here comes another demented Satch metabolic symbolic something. You could add more and more layers and layers and layers onto the cake, but however pretty and lovely those layers are, if the cake is sat on a wonky table, the cake is always going to look wonky, and it's never really going to look nice. I'm so impressed by that analogy. Oh my god, I'm like the king of that was such a good analogy. Yes, it was. The Sims 4 is sat on a wonky table. They can distract us by putting more layers on the cake, but fundamentally the cake will always be wonky, and that's because the Sims 4 itself, the base game, is very wonky, just like a wonky dick. Not that there's anything wrong with a wonky dick. If it bends in the right way, it might hit you in the right spot, but unfortunately the Sims 4 isn't bending slightly upwards towards your G-spot / prostate. It's kind of like bending a little bit to the wrong side, and it's a little bit painful. It's a little bit disappointing. That was my Tinder on the subject of dicks. So I'm just gonna leave you to like seethe in all of this and let me know what you think.